Hi everybody! How are you all doing? Today we're just gonna chill out and just talk about the things I wish I knew before I started sewing. Yeah, so if you're new here, please click subscribe and let's get started. Right, I have a long list of the things I wish I knew before I started sewing. And sewing as a hobby and sewing as business. So number one thing that I want to tell you is that it's okay to make a mistake. I cannot tell you how many times I've made a mistake, especially when I'm trying to follow a pattern in clothes or making toys or making bags. And one thing I really don't like about patterns is if it's just all diagrams and there's no actual picture of the step-by-step process. I really don't like that. But I've learned to live with it. And nowadays if I get a pattern that only has a diagram, I wouldn't even read. I wouldn't even look at it. I just look at it and say, no, I'm not doing this again. So what I do is I try and study. For example, it's a bag pattern. I try and study how it looks, the photo of the product itself, and just eyeball it because I like eyeballing. So that's what I do. And that's not good. I wouldn't even advise that to a beginner. Definitely, if you have a pattern, read beginning to end before you even start cutting your fabric. Yeah, definitely do that. Yeah, so another one is that seam ripper is gonna be your best friend. And again, that's part of making a mistake. You just use that and do it again. You'll be fine, and it's fine. Also, have a lot of bobbins. I'll show you my bobbin. My bobbins are all transparent. I have top-loading sewing machine, so they're all transparent. So every time I go to day sew, I don't miss a chance to buy another set of bobbins. I don't know if you have Daiso in your home country, but for some reason that's where I buy more bobbins. I don't actually buy bobbins at craft shops or anywhere else but Daiso. It's the one that came with it. The machine comes with a set of bobbins, maybe 3 or 4, something like that. And I just buy from Daiso the rest of them. So I have like 30 now, maybe more, don't know. And I wind them in advance. So I only use this color. Well, not only, but I mostly 90% use this color. It's dual duty. It doesn't say the color, but it's like sand and off-white kind of. So I like to use that for quilting and all sorts of projects. But if the fabric, of course, require, for example, it's a really obvious, like this black faux leather. I mean, of course I'm gonna use black. Yeah, but for example, this print, I'll just use that same off-white color and it's fine. I use it for all my quiltings. The only exception is if the backing of the quilt is very dark and it wouldn't go with this color, then I'd use the same color as the backing, but that's only on the bobbin side, and I use this on the top thread. That makes sense. Okay, next, change your needle regularly. how regular is regular? I don't know, it's up to you. But for me, I try and change it every week because I use my sewing machine every single day, except some, weekends maybe. But there's still a moment on a weekend that I sew. But yeah, yesterday, funny story, my machine, I thought my machine was broken. It's just the bobbin case is just jumping. I don't know what to do. I tried everything I could, and then I gave up and I messaged the service center guy. I said, my sewing machine, I took a video of what happened, and he said, have you tried changing your needle? Maybe it's bent. And I thought, you know what, that's the only thing I didn't really do to troubleshoot it. So I'm gonna do that. I even packed away my sewing machine, removed all the plugs, ready to go to the service center. Because I was so mad that, I was in the middle of a project and then just not working. I said, my goodness. But I changed the needle and it's all good. It's like magic. Yeah, so change your needle regularly. Next is clean your machine. This is another one that will make your machine happy or sad. And if your machine is sad, it will do bad things. I bought this, I'll just show you. Air duster. I saw my husband using this in his office and he was using it on his computers and stuff. And I thought, that's a really good idea. I don't know why I've never thought of that. So I bought one, just sprayed in, opened my machine, sprayed, and it's clean. So I do that every week. I try at least every week. If not 2 times a week. Yeah, so that's a really good, nice to have, really good to have for your sewing machines. And yes, clean your sewing machines, it's very important. Next is it takes time to get something right. So if you're doing a project, like for example, a long time ago I started making memory bears, and it was my first toy my first experience to sew a toy, a teddy bear. I bought this, I can't even remember the name of the pattern, but that's what I have now. I just tweaked a little bit, make it easier for me. But yeah, so I started sewing that and I couldn't get it. I literally did 2 or 3 bears and it was all really bad and I hated it, and I stopped making it because that was practice before I try and offer a product. I would test it first. How long will it take me? How much would be the cost of the materials? Is it gonna look good? Because toys can be, really very detailed. So I thought, I'm not selling that. And then a few months later, a customer of mine ordered 10 memory bears. And I thought, this is a chance. This is my time to shine. This is the time I really need to make it look good. I need to learn how to properly make it. So again, I I came back to the pattern. I researched. I started making again and again and again and again until I got it right. And yes, I did 10 bears for this customer and they were happy. I mean, she gave it to her family, so, and they're all happy. And I'm so glad that moment I said, yes, I'm gonna start making a lot more bears from now on. So yeah, that was a good motivation. 10 memory bears, commissioned, really, really good. Right, next, use good quality threads. Let me show you. Here is just some really cheap thread from a local shop. This is the kind of thread I started using, and it was good. It was good for a few months, and then my machine started being funny. So I thought, don't know what's wrong with it, and I read on Facebook, one of the Facebook groups I'm in said always make sure to use a good quality thread. And I thought, that just snaps so quickly. I didn't even try hard enough. And this is Gutermann. I'm not promoting this, but it's really good. I guess if I do it really hard enough, then it snaps, of course. So yeah, please use really good quality threads for your sewing machines. I cannot say that enough. Also, I wish someone told me that fabric collection is a different hobby, because I definitely didn't know about that, and I started buying fabrics and I thought, oh, that's so pretty. Bought this one, no project in mind, just bought it because I like it, and then one day I'll use it. So months and months and months later, it's still there, hiding. Poor thing. So yeah, fabric collection is definitely a separate hobby. Okay, and last one. No one told me about this, but enjoy it. That sewing is therapeutic. If I have so many things in mind, I just sew and it just kind of go away. Whatever I was thinking of or worried about, it just goes away because I'm focusing on a project. I mean, probably, if your hobby is different things, it's the same effect. But yeah, so what I mean is, sewing for me it's just nice, and it just takes my mind off worrying about something. So that's why I like to get really busy every day. I try and get things done and make new stuff, so that I don't think of worrying, sad things and all that, because everyone has sad moments or going through problems and that. Everyone is. But sewing is just one way for me to kind of just heal myself, I guess. But yeah, so you should definitely enjoy your sewing. And if you start realizing that, oh, I hate it, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be sewing, I can't do this, I just get really upset when I'm making a mistake and I have to use a seam ripper, I just give up. If that's what you're thinking, maybe sewing is not for you. Sad to say, but yeah, it takes a lot of patience when you do sewing, especially if you do it as a business. It's not only about the sewing. Sewing is only 20% of making something. Probably, if I break it down, 40% is the preparation of your project, 20% sewing, and 40% is dealing with your customers. And if you're alone in your business like me, I have to do all the marketing, all the social media interactions, posting and all that. I have to do all the admin work. You know, I'm alone in my business, so I do everything on my own. And that takes a lot of patience, and especially dealing with people. People are all different. They're all different. And you deal with them differently because that's how it is. I'm grateful that I have a really good customer service background, and I've dealt with really difficult customers before, and that just made me a bit more immune to people getting angry at me, at something not directly at me. But so, I was trained a bit, and I'm more patient to people, I guess. People would say I'm a people person, but I think I just have a lot more patience in people, and I always believe the good in people. So yeah, that helps my business a lot, because then I can deal with them better. If you have any thoughts, just put it down in the comment section. Also, if you have any things that you wish you knew before you started sewing as a hobby or as a business, please comment down below. I would love to see yours, and I'm sure most of us have experienced these things that I've said. And again, I cannot tell you enough how this helped my life. Air duster, just get it. So good. Also, yeah, thank you for staying with me today, sharing your time a bit to just chat with me. So yeah, have a good one, and be kind to everyone. Bye bye.